Hello out there. Heavy Monte here. Welcome to the Heavy Montes podcast and my comedy show. Tonight we're going to talk about Iran. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look like that Iranian strike was a total disaster. Most people are saying that it did little or no damage to any of the facilities. Now, Donald Trump is calling for a regime change in America. He said that he thought he did a good job. So now, since he's like a fool, he wants to go back America. Now, no one knows whether or not Iran has a nuclear bomb right now, but they know that they have the capability to make a nuclear bomb. And since Pete Hegseth called them and told them, "We're coming to bomb you. We're going to be there at 9:30." They say that the Iranians hid all of the uranium. The uranium they have now they say has been upgraded to 60%. You know, 60% America. They say that they can upgrade it to around 80% and create a nuclear bomb very quickly. Now in America, Donald Trump has mismanaged that situation. The same way how the Republican Party has mismanaged our government because they don't know what the government is. Now, Ted Cruz was on TV, talking to that asshole Tucker Carlson, and he did not even know anything about Iran. You see, they're just listening to Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, who H. Monte considered to be a terrorist and a mass murderer, right along with Donald Trump, in my opinion, because Donald Trump and the Republican Party policies kill people, stopping, people around the world from being fed, saying, even though we have a lot, we're not going to give you anything because America is number one, you know, we're first, you know, and he's not making America first. If he was making America first, all of our people, will have the medical care they need. All of our people, will have the dental care they need. All of our people, okay, will feel safe and not getting gunned down in the street. You know, they don't even attempt to do anything about gun violence in America. They do nothing because they don't want to address anything. The Democrats address it and people get mad. The Republicans got a new strategy. And that strategy is shut the hell up. We got a king. You do what we say. And a lot of the maggots agree with it. I understand 77 million of them. Everybody was telling them, that Donald Trump wanted to be a dictator. Donald Trump told himself he wanted to be a dictator. And they said, oh, he's just joking. He's not joking. He is crazy as hell, in my opinion. And I'll say this to you, America. Now we all should love ourselves. Well, Donald Trump really loved himself, and he wants everybody else in the world to love him. But if you open your eyes real wide, the old saying, the emperor has no clothes. He is a big, fat, stinking, lying pig. The worst of the worst. Huh? The name of my podcast is Donald Trump a Pig? Huh? You know, uh, Donald Trump meets all of the prerequisites for an evil genius. All of them, you know. He brought the evangelical church to his knees. Huh? They out there begging. Please help us, Help us make laws that affect and hurt other people. Huh? Because those people over there aren't like us. They're not our race. That's the same thing they said to black people. You know, they use these things as an excuse to torture God's children and call themselves, when they rewrite the religion to put them, they call it revelation. We had a revelation, you know. The revelation told us this and the revelation told us that. It's a made up crap. To fool the masses, to fool people into forgetting what's right and what's wrong. There is nothing right about Donald Trump and the Republican Party today. They are the worst of the worst. And I'll tell you what, go down the list. They are some nasty, nasty racists and misogynists in that party. And they were exposed when they followed and endorsed a criminal president. They said, we're so incompetent and we don't know how to run the government, so we're going to give all of our control. We don't need to discuss anything. All of our control to a madman who ruins people's dinner, farting and pooping all over himself at dinner. That's our president, they say, America. That's our president who smells like shit, they say, America. Because what you see is what you get. And what you got here, America, is a despicable human being sitting in the White House. But the Republicans tell you in your district, they tell you in your church, they tell you everywhere, in McDonald's, wherever you go, that Donald Trump is the right man for this country at this time and place in the world when America has endured wars, when America has endured slavery, when America has endured a civil war and all of us have died, our ancestors, to build this country together. Today we have a political party and a president that tells us that some of us are not worthy to love our country because of who and what we are. We can't serve our country if we're different. You see what I'm saying, America? That's what this government is. This government, America, is the government that Donald Trump told you that was Joe Biden. They were hiding in plain sight, a Trojan horse, and you fell for it, America. But sometimes losing can be good. When you lose what you have, and you have lost what you have, it might be your job, it might be your religion, it might be your faith in your country, but you can get it back. You can get it back by electing the Democratic Party and stop listening to that garbage on the corporate media. The corporate media has no credibility. None. That's the reason why you didn't listen to me. Midas Touch. I Had It News. Occupy Democrats and a host of others out there crying in the air so you can know. We are crying in the air so you can understand that this is your country. And nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can tell you to be a racist. Nobody can tell you to be a misogynist. Nobody can tell you anything because you are free to be an American. It is your birthright to protest. It is your birthright to love one another and not listen to people who tell you to hate somebody else. That should be a warning for you. If somebody come to you and tell you to hate somebody, that's somebody who you want to hang out with, but that's who you're hanging out with when you're hanging out with the Republican Party, because the only message the Republican Party has is hate. division. Huh? And most of them are just like the people they freaking hate. That's a dang old shame, America. Huh? You know, hiding. Not being themselves. Huh? But the Democratic Party, you ain't got to hide. Be who and what you are. And we want to welcome everybody back to the Democratic Party. Huh? And don't you worry about it. Huh? Because you don't have the corporate news anymore running the show and cutting us down and not allowing the Democratic Party to do what they need. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Podcast, the Heavy Monte Comedy Show. Have a great time, America, and please don't forget to subscribe.